Hey, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're going to talk about the 5 potential causes and solutions to the dreaded pooch belly, so stay tuned. Now, one of the most clear and obvious issues when it comes to that appearance of the pooch belly is the way you stand. We refer to this, of course, as posture. I think many of us can be accused of slouching. That's where the ribs are lowered down and in. Of course, this is going to cause the abdomen to protrude. Now, of course, coupling this with the forward tilt of the pelvis, you're going to see a noticeable change in the appearance of the abdominal region. It's going to create a distended sort of appearance. Now, when it comes to posture, things can get fairly complicated, and that is because that people stand the way they do for a number of different reasons. It could be the way that they breathe, their genetics, of course, their skeletal structure, the way that they're made. It could be because you're trying to avoid pain, amongst many other different types of reasons. Now, fixing posture is a pretty complex topic, but there is something you can look at to see if the pooch belly is associated to your posture. Now, when you're standing, find yourself shifting your weight back to your heels a little bit. Then what you're going to do is to roll your pelvis underneath you slightly. We call this a little bit of a tail tuck or a posterior pelvic tilt. Lastly, imagine you have a hook and put it underneath your sternum and lift your sternum up to the sky a bit. Then, when you look in the mirror and notice your abdomen region, does it look like it's less distended, or is there less of that pooch belly appearance? If that's the case, then some postural correcting may do good for you. Be sure to check out these additional videos to learn more. Now, perhaps one of the most common associations to the pooch belly appearance is a layer of body fat over the lower abdomen. This is called subcutaneous body fat because it's just below the skin. Now, where you tend to store body fat in your body is largely a matter of genetics, but there does appear to be some correlation between high stress hormones, cortisol, and also menopause. Now, the easiest way to determine how much of the belly pooch is associated to this kind of body fat is by doing a simple pinch test. If what you do is squeeze your abdominal muscles and then pinch everything that you can pinch on top of those muscles, you're going to be accumulating skin, body fat, and probably a little bit of fluid as well. But this gives us a good idea how much of that pooch is nothing associated to the deeper structures underneath the abdomen. Now, as discussed, fat storage locations on your body is largely from your genetics. That said, reducing body fat through normal processes such as increased exercise activity and, of course, lowering your caloric intake appropriately will make a difference. But I want you to be aware of something. There is no such thing as spot reducing strategies, meaning you can't lose body fat in just one area of your body and not anywhere else. No matter what anybody tells you, there is no evidence to support this phenomenon. There are many examples that you can find online of pictures of different individuals with the same level of low body fat and different appearance of their abdominal muscles. Some people can see their abdominal muscles at higher levels of body fat, others need much lower levels of body fat to accomplish the exact same look. Now, the take-home point to that is if you continue losing body fat, it will eventually come off of those areas. It just requires more patience for some people than others. Now, a lesser talked about issue is the appearance of a pot belly or a protruding belly because of what's going on underneath with a deeper level of body fat called visceral body fat. Visceral body fat is different than subcutaneous body fat because it lies deeper to the abdominal muscles rather than on top of them. Now, it's certainly possible that somebody may not have a lot of subcutaneous body fat over the lower abdomen, but they may indeed have a lot of internal visceral body fat. Now, determining visceral body fat levels is not as simple as doing a skin pinch test. We'll need to have some type of body composition scale. Some of them are available for home use to estimate visceral body fat levels. Now, visceral body fat in particular is quite concerning because of its association with cardiovascular issues and, of course, insulin resistance. Reducing visceral body fat levels is almost identical to that of subcutaneous fat. What we need to do is to have an appropriate caloric intake reduction from food and also to increase exercise activity so that we can liberate that stored energy. Now, another contributing factor to the appearance of a pooch belly is from loose skin. Loose skin can oftentimes occur after pregnancy. It can also occur after losing a lot of weight, or it can simply be due to genetics. Now, testing loose skin is a fairly obvious one, similar to the pinch test, that if you use your fingers and you pull away the tissue from the abdominal muscles, we're going to accumulate, number one, subcutaneous body fat and also skin. The loose skin is a little easier to detect because as we pull the skin away from the subcutaneous body fat, it is much thinner. It doesn't have a thickness to the inside. Now, addressing loose skin is oftentimes something that's very difficult to do because there aren't a lot of natural things that actually help. In this case, it might be good to consult the medical professional who's adept at working with this condition. Now, another short-term contributing factor potentially to the appearance of a distending abdomen is actually bloating or fluid retention. This is often the result of gas or constipation, but it can also be associated with inflammatory or digestive issues. So if you suffer from things like reflux, indigestion, SIBO, IBS, or inflammatory bowel disease, this can create a distended appearance to the abdomen. If you suspect any of these types of issues, it's best to take a trip to your healthcare provider for further evaluation. Individualized nutrition recommendations might be necessary in order to reduce the stress on the gut, improve issues like constipation, inflammation, bloating, etc. So that wraps up the top things that contribute to that pooch belly or distended abdomen appearance. I hope this list has been helpful. If you like this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up, comment down below any comments you might have, and of course, subscribe to the channel for more valuable videos like these. Thanks for watching.